Does anyone else feel like cooking is underrated? And so I want to talk about that. I want to talk about cooking. It's vlogs about nothing. What else could we possibly talk about? Something? You know what I mean? I think not. I think not. I think we'll continue talking about nothing. And so, thanks for watching the channel. I really appreciate it. If you're not already, take a couple of seconds and subscribe. At least consider doing such. It helps the channel out just so much. And I do want to talk about how I think cooking is not only underrated, but for the following three reasons, is perhaps one of, if not the most underrated thing that you can do in your own personal life, right? And so the first of those reasons is that cooking allows you to communicate, requires communication. Now, it's awesome when you're with your partner, you know what I mean, and instead of going out for dinner, you cook something together. This could be something as simple as a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You know, making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, with all due respect, can get quite sensual, you know, given the appropriate conditions. I guess anything could, you know, but like just the sensuality not directly linked to, you know, the fun part. You feel me? The fun physical part, we'll call that, right? But more like the even more fun mental part, which is the chase, right? Which is just the touch, the compatibility, you know, the wonderment, right? Oftentimes this is better than it itself, you know? And I think, especially as men, especially as a man, straight man, you know, I can identify with just sort of that whole mantra of not always delegating my time accordingly when it comes to these matters. You know, cooking with somebody can be very enjoyable. Now, again, in this specific instance, we're talking about partner cooking. Yes. King of the Hill even has an episode of, you know, when he and Peggy actually get naked while cooking on their barbecue grill. And so this is a very, you know, kind of personal thing. And not enough couples do it. You feel me? Like, forget going out, you know, go get some pre-made chocolate chip cookie dough and see where that takes you, right? I mean, it's an incredible thing. That whole aspect of the cook, you know, as it pertains to your partner. I myself have many stories of all of these kinds of things, right? Including the last only good memory I had with my most recent ex-girlfriend, which was the night when we absolutely had nothing and we made oatmeal cookies together. Out of the entire 3 years I was ever with that person, you know, and as much as I regret all 3 years of my life with that person, you know, Loki, it's those little things, right? I mean, it was just like that one evening that reminded me, like, of why I like this woman to begin with. Like, why on earth I'd be attracted to somebody so much older than me in the first place. And that was because essentially we had chemistry at some point. You know, at some point it was just completely lost and thrown out the window, but there was chemistry. And I just think that that feeling is something we try to hold on to, and sometimes to our own detriment, because we know that it exists, and we know that when we circumstantially place ourselves in certain situations, that the likelihood of them happening again are very large. But for some reason we deprive ourselves of these, you know, feelings that we know can, like, either make or break us. And so I think that cooking is a lot more than cooking, and I think that you should cook with your partner. It encourages communication on a level that you can't really understand, but in all of which ways is super good. You know what I mean? For both of y'all. So, like, cooking is good for partnerships in that, again, it allows for a different kind of communication to take place that most often leads to what couples do. You know what I mean? And, I mean, I don't know, anyways, let's talk about other reasons that dinner or cooking is a cool thing. So cooking is not only cool because, you know, it can get you in a good spot later on that evening with your partner, but it's a good thing to do because as you cook and let's say even your partner or your family isn't cooking with you, they're still around you. And it's a very social affair. If you've ever been in a kitchen, with many people in it at once while one person is preparing food, it's a pretty happening spot. I mean, everyone's in there. Everyone wants to be in there. Everyone needs to be fed. Everyone's hungry. Everyone has an incentive, you know? And again, to supplement that sort of incentive, quality time can definitely take place within the confines of that situation, right? I can't tell you how many of the best conversations I've had with people that are that were the closest to me, right? Like my grandma, for example, very social woman, became a lot more sociable when she was cooking. Again, she's at the stove, people are around, love the woman's food. What else is there to do but know each other and have a good time? All the best things in life are mostly free. And minus the cost, I guess, of the food and all the other things that it takes to do all that, which are relatively low compared to other things, I'd say that the return is astronomical, right? The ROI is like super heavy hitting on the good side there. I think that cooking is a sociable action that can lead to conversations that have meaningful impacts on people's lives. I mean, how many of us remember specific things that we learned or taught or that we saw at family gatherings around holidays, all around food, all around people cooking, you know? And so another good thing or underrated thing I feel like about cooking is that it provides people with the means to be successful. So in a world where we're all told everyone has, more or less the basic same equal human rights that we're all guaranteed, when in fact we all kind of know that that's nonsense and it's all realistic sort of approach, we know that cooking in itself is like the basketball dream for the world in terms of cooking connects people. Cooking can make or break relationships, business deals, marriages, dare I say. I mean, I'm sure there's a story of such instance occurring at this point in the world, But the thing is that like it also allows a person to get out of a certain situation. Oftentimes in modern working culture, lots of people have been given an opportunity at a career as a result of cooking, and it's an honest good job, right? Like you're a cook. Holy potatoes, right? That's a good thing. And so again, we want to keep in mind that cooking is important. It helps strengthen and enforce our relationships with our partner in a kind of way that we wouldn't otherwise dream possible. Cooking allows us to be in a spot where we can be sociable with all the people that we love and that are around us, especially in times of celebration and in happiness, or in times of when we need to be consoled and around the people that matters the most, wakes, things like this. And finally, cooking is important because it allows people an escape from an otherwise world or place that hasn't provided them with the equitable access that it should have to begin with, but didn't. And so cooking is a big deal, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful night. I'm a huge nerd about cooking, and I'm a more huge nerd about us having us all join each other each night for this program. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Bye.